You're live.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight. If you'll join me, please, with the invocation, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and all the blessings you've given us. We thank you for providing us the opportunity to serve the citizens of Elkins. We ask that you guide us in our decision-making as we strive to help our community grow. We also ask that you watch over and guide our country's leaders. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. I now call the meeting of the regular council to order, and we'll ask our city clerk to take roll, please.
Councilor Bross Fraganera.
Here.
Councilor Chenoweth.
Here.
Councilor Quanzo.
Present.
Councilor Guy is absent. Councilor Hinchman.
Here.
Councilor Lowther.
Here.
Councilor Parker.
Yes.
Councilor Severino is absent. Councilor Vest.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, we have 3 agenda adjustments, which we will address later on in the evening. And I will open it up now. Is there anyone here for public comment? If you'll step up, please, tell us your name, your address.
Some of you know me because I've been here a couple of times already to the Finance Committee, I guess. Yeah. I'm Pat Barchetto, 217 Sylvester Drive. It's about the Optimum franchise agreement. I didn't know about this until October 19th, when I saw a legal ad in the newspaper which brought this to the forefront about the franchise being reestablished. Since that time, I spoke with, Attorney Roberts, or Jerry, that it is no longer a 10-year contract, it's a 5-year contract, which is good. But what I'm here to do is to make sure council holds Optimum's feet to the fire about this office. Where is this office going to go? We've got plenty of space in our town for this office to come into. Need to know where it's going to be, what times it's going to be open, because I tell you what, I went to Buchanan more than once, and it was closed over there. So that's really my main reason for being here tonight. I thank you for what you do. It is important. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else here for public comment tonight? Actually, before we move on, I have a letter that I'm going to read. This came from Robbie Skinner, the mayor of Buchanan, and he wanted me to share this tonight. Dear Mayor Marco, on behalf of our city council, administration, employees, citizens, and business owners of the great city of Buchanan, I'm writing to extend our sincere and heartfelt thanks to you, your city council, and the Elkins Fire Department for your continued support and rapid response to our city when disaster strikes. Over the past 2 weeks, Elkins firefighters have traveled to Buchanan to assist our fire department with 2 separate residential structure fires within city limits. The Buchanan Fire Department, much like Elkins Fire Department, is a combination department with 9 full-time professional firefighters employed and roughly a dozen or more volunteer firefighters in our membership ranks. This time of year, with so many of our volunteers spending time away from home and at hunting camps, having adequate manpower available to respond is a challenge. We are extremely appreciative of the dedication and willingness of the Elkins Fire Department to assist their brothers and sisters here in Buchanan without hesitation. Of course, if and when disaster strikes in Elkins, our fire department will respond to you with everything and everyone we have as quickly as possible. Our cities are fortunate to not only be neighbors, but also to be good friends. On a much lighter note, the city of Buchanan wishes to congratulate you, the entire Elkins community, for being named the 4th Ascend West Virginia destination. This is certainly a wonderful honor. We admire all of your efforts to improve the downtown and rail yard area. We wish you continued success and look forward to completed renovation of the Taggart Hotel. If the city of Buchanan could be of any assistance, please let us know how we can help or how we can partner together to expand and promote our wonderful region of the Mountain State. Sincerely, Robbie Skinner. Mayor Skinner had emailed that to me later this afternoon and asked that I share that, and I thought I would send that praise over to Chief Himes, and thank council for their support with that. Okay, with that, I will ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the November 17th, 2022 meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any comments or discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, in your correspondence and notifications, you have your building permits and approved minutes of the committee, board, and commission meetings. And then tonight, we have a presentation for the Region 7 Planning and Development Council, and we have Shane Whitehair with us. Welcome, Shane.
Good evening. Nice to see everybody. The handouts being passed out, I won't go through that entire document, but I will highlight some of the things that's mentioned in there. But as Mayor mentioned, I'm Shane Whitehair, Director of Region 7 Planning Development Council. Our offices are located in Buchanan. I was here probably, I think, about this time last year. So I appreciate the invitation to come back. In fact, we have been making an effort to try to go to our member governments meetings throughout the region to kind of just, say, hey, here we are, here's what we do, here's how we can help. So appreciate the invite to come out and talk to you folks. So with that being said, I think everybody has a copy. This is just a kind of a one-pager we created, the staff has, to just give you a real quick, brief summary of, the types of services that we provide for our member governments. And some of the staff, the types of things that they do for our communities. We work a lot with infrastructure, and I know Melody's here. She's aware of that, and the mayor and Jessica, but not only do we deal with infrastructure projects, but we're involved in a lot of other community and economic development initiatives. I guess my goal tonight is just to let you know that we're here as a resource for you guys, for the city of Elkins. In case you're unaware, we do a lot of work in Randolph County. I do want to give a shout out to the Development Authority and a lot of the stuff that they have accomplished over the last 5-6 years, and they're continuing to accomplish as we speak. So we have a good relationship with them and Robbie and their staff, and they're doing some great things, and we're hoping to just be able to provide some assistance to them to accomplish those. We are resources for you guys to utilize. As I mentioned last year, we can provide grant writing services. We can provide technical assistance regarding any kind of project development. For example, we helped submit the application for the demo project here through DEP within the last couple months. So those types of things, we're of assistance to help you guys in any way we can. GIS services. I know Stacy from our office came over to assist you guys in the interview process to help out, try to find a replacement for your GIS position. So we provide those services as well, so keep that in mind as you move forward with a new person. Just to kind of quantify some of the things we've accomplished in Randolph County, if you look on the back page of that handout, at the bottom of the page, we have some entities within the county that we have worked with in the past or are currently working with. But also on the left there, if you looked at the impact by the numbers, this is something the staff at the council is pretty proud of. And I hope the folks and the local officials in this county are as well. But over the last 20 plus years, we have been able to assist in getting and attaining over almost $120 million of federal and state funding in Randolph County. Those funds have helped provide new and improved service to over 6,700 households and helped create and retain almost 500 jobs. So, our impact may not necessarily be, out there. Nobody really understands maybe who we are or what we do. We're kind of behind the scenes, but we are proud of helping the city of Elkins, the Randolph County in its entirety and the region as well, and helping you guys accomplish your goals and strategies. So we'll continue to provide that service, but rather than me talking, I do want to open it up to questions and any concerns, comments you guys have in regards to what we do. Please speak up. The one thing I do want to mention is, communication. If we don't know you're having an issue or there's a project you're trying to accomplish, you need to communicate to us on a regular basis to let us know to see if there's any assistance that we can provide to the city or your staff or any other agency within the county. So we're open, you know, communication needs to be open amongst us and you guys, especially now with all the funding and everything going on. It's pretty crazy right now, but, you know, communication is key to make sure we accomplish these goals in the most effective and efficient manner. So with that, I'll shut up and let you guys ask any questions that you have.
Well, I actually have a comment instead
Yes.
of a question, Shane. First off, I want to say thank you because your staff has been very responsive every time I've reached out to them. And over the past year and a half, I've blown your phone up several times just to educate myself with questions. And you always get back to me in a timely manner,
Yep.
and I greatly appreciate that. You haven't blocked my number yet, so that's a good thing, I guess. You've been tremendous, like I said, with the DEP stuff, that was tremendous. You guys did a lot of the heavy lifting for us, and we're very appreciative of that. And because of that, we were successful and able to get the $300,000 that we obtained. So thank you for your efforts there. And Carrie's been fantastic coming to our water and sanitary board meetings. She's been very helpful, has given tremendous insight. So, and Dion's just amazing too as well. The rest of your staff as well. So please express my gratitude to them.
Yeah, you know, these things, with all the opportunities that are available right now, they can be a little overwhelming. There's a lot of work that goes, you know, that's involved. Dave Clark behind me here can tell you that. We're working with their group as well on a broadband project here in Randolph County, and it can be a little overwhelming, and it takes a lot of folks to make sure that this stuff happens. Like I said, efficient and effective manner. So, you know, it's important to work as a team and to communicate to make sure these things happen. So.
And I understand every time somebody contacts your office, their project is the most important thing at that time. So we're trying to be patient, and that's not always my strong suit, but I'm working on that, sir.
Absolutely.
But thank you.
So, yeah. So, any other questions?
May I make a comment, please? I just want to say thank you, Shane, because I know Jessica and I, when we did our GIS interviews, we do not have a lot of knowledge, background in
Yeah.
that. So Stacy has been really,
Good.
really helpful, and I'll concur with the mayor that Carrie's wonderful, and I know Jim helped us also with projects, and we continue, stay in touch probably a lot, and I know that Stacy's offered to provide any assistance to us. She did come over and help with those interviews, so it was very helpful, so thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And guys, we're your agency. I mean, this is your agency, and we consider ourselves the staff of the city of Elkins and the commission and all the other municipalities and the development authority and so forth. So, you know, utilize us. We might not know all the answers, but probably a good idea we know who to contact to find out, you know, any problem that may come up or anything. So, you know, like I said, utilize us as best as you possibly can. And if we can't do something, we'll tell you. I mean, it's, you know, we can't do anything and everything, but we, you know, there's a lot of things that we can, that these staff that I have that are good at, and, you know, they make me look good. So use them. Absolutely use them.
I will say, at the municipal league conference, we were having a conversation. There were a group of mayors, and I won't say who said it, but we were talking about regions, and I said, yeah, we're Region 7, and they said, you're lucky because that's probably the best region in the state. I won't tell you who said it.
Say that
but-
louder so hopefully Robbie
Well,
Moore's
we
gonna
are
hear
live
that.
streaming this, so
Yeah.
it is recorded now, so you're
Yeah,
good to go,
yeah.
Shane.
Well, I appreciate that, yeah. It's, you know, again, utilize the resources that are available to you, and that's the reason that we're trying to come out to your meetings and so
Right.
forth, so you're aware. Because not all people, I mean, there's a lot of councils that don't realize that. So even though we're as busy as we are, we're trying to get out a little bit just to let them know that we're here to help in any way we can.
Sometimes be careful what you wish for, because
Oh, well,
I start blowing your phone up
It
again.
is what it is. I mean, we'll deal with it, but we'll try to help out any way we can.
Any questions for Shane?
Yeah. I had, where it has listed funding searches, we have a couple of properties, historic properties, that are in dire need of preservation.
Yeah.
Rehabilitation services. So is that something that we can ask for
Yes.
you all to provide, maybe some ideas?
Yeah, so my advice to you would to give us a call.
Okay,
Dion Allen, our grant writer, is pretty knowledgeable of the programs that are available. If she does, like I said, if she doesn't know, we can kind of do some research to see what's available, and you know, there might be something that she has done in the past or discussions that she's had with other communities that I'm unaware of, that
Right.
she can provide some knowledge to use on that.
That
So,
would be
yeah.
great, because
Yeah.
some of those grants are really, really difficult and
Yes.
challenging, but other ones are
Yeah.
not so much.
Right.
So that kind of insight
Well,
would be
you know,
terrific.
you know, Buchanan, same situation as Elkins. You know, you're fortunate to have some staff maybe that can do a lot of that legwork. Some of our local governments don't have the capacity to
Right.
do this, and it can get a little overwhelming. So that's where
Okay.
we can come in and help out.
All right, so so I should just call?
Yes, you can just give us a shout. Yes, absolutely.
Any
There's
other questions?
contact information there at the bottom, I believe.
Gotcha.
Any other questions?
I will
Thank-
say congrats, Ascend, awesome stuff. Pretty cool and exciting to see that happen. I know, you know, we've been working with the Development Authority with the Event Center, and hopefully we'll get that thing moving soon, but congratulations, and I know it's pretty cool and quite an accomplishment, so congrats on that.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay, down to our committee reports. We'll start with Counselor Chenoweth, please.
Personnel Committee, we haven't had a meeting since our last council meeting, so I don't have anything to report there. I think our December Personnel Committee meeting will likely be canceled, and we'll take up any new business in January. Special Hiring Committee, we've met exhaustively, and today actually met and voted to recommend a candidate for council, which we'll take up a little bit later on in the agenda.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Counselor Hinchman.
Okay, Finance met last Monday, the 28th, and we went over the renewal of the cable franchise agreement with Optimum. We went over the assignment of the compensation of the new HR person, and we had discussions on 5 River Street property. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Counselor Lawler.
At the last meeting, I had mentioned the construction of the bleachers was to start. That's been held up by material issues. They should know tomorrow when those materials will arrive. The contractor said he was not worried about snow as long as it wasn't 3 foot deep and or pouring rain down. So that'll be moving as soon as the materials come in. The next Parks meeting is December 21st at 5 p.m. That's all I have.
And I will let you know that I continue to receive a ton of compliments on the new path over at Riverbend and Glendale. So if you haven't checked them out, please do. Citizens are blowing my email, my phone, and my text up about how nice it is over there.
And the contractor that did that job will be back in when the ground dries up a little bit to fix what ruts they created with the dump truck.
No, I mean, well, part of that is wet over there, so I understand that. But please pass that along, that we're getting a ton of compliments, so I appreciate that.
I will, thank you.
Can you enlighten us as to who did that?
Custom Paving did it. It's been really great to work with.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Okay, Counselor Brosford-Ganero.
The Rules and Ordinance will meet Wednesday, December 14th at 9 o'clock, continuing to update and expand our animal ordinance. And that's all with that group. And sometime in January, we'll send out a poll to find out when Planning Commission can start meeting and start working on the comprehensive plan. And that's all that I have to report.
Thank you. Counselor Kwanzo.
Okay, let's see, Municipal Properties had met last time, but just want to announce that our next meeting is December 14th at 1 p.m. So that is moving it up a week. Tree Board met last night, and we worked on a discussion about the grant for the Department of Forestry to finalize the trees next year, we're hoping. And also we had everybody pretty much turn out last night, and we all decorated the garden house, and it looks so nice tonight. I hope you guys get a chance to walk over there and take a look, because it looks nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Vest.
The Ad Hoc Audit Committee, there's no report. Next meeting will be Tuesday, December the 20th at 1.
Thank you so much. Counselor Parker.
No new report, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, our chief water operator is not here. Chief Bennett.
Good evening. So for the month of November, the Elkins Police Department responded to 458 calls for service that generated 15 cases and resulted in 10 arrests. Thankfully, those numbers are a little bit lower than normal, about 10% lower, in fact. So hopefully it stays that way, at least through the winter anyway. We do expect to have our traffic accidents increase here over the next few months. So we're prepared for that, and the only other thing that I have is we are waiting on Motorola to give us a date on when we can start the training for the body-worn cameras, and then we'll have them out. So I'm hoping within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be up and running with that completely and have them all out in the field. That's it for me, unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Ms. Himes.
Good evening. I think I've bored you guys enough with the projects. We're still working on the Davis Avenue Bridge, waiting on some information from the State Department of Highways and the Governor's Office on how they're going to move on some funding for that. Still haven't heard yet, but we're anxiously awaiting that. The HVAC for City Hall, I just met with Bryson today. He came over to look at some things, was able to go into the treasurer's office and look around in there, and Jessica and I are going to meet with him next week on that. As well, for the update on the proposal, Street Department got the Christmas lights out. They look really nice, so they'll be up and ready for the parade this Friday, which I couldn't believe was already coming up. I do want to thank Region 7. They have been a lifesaver for us in operations. I know we've worked with them as long as I've been here at the city, so it's really a great asset for us. And we enjoy going to the meetings, and they come over here anytime and always offer help, so it's really a great partnership we have with them. I did meet with all of the tenants at the Darden House this week. I met with the Historic Landmarks Commission. Last week I met with the PAWV and Michelle from the Grandparents Program, and I learned a lot of things I didn't know before and got to tour around the house and look at some things, and I've talked to Brad about, going over and just kind of doing a few repairs to some things that I noticed over there. And then the internet, everything's been run, and Craig is hopeful to have everything in there by next week. So hopefully they can get their internet up and running. And then we've been working on moving the recycling containers. I've told you all that several times, but they are going to go over to Baxter Street. The guys are working, the street department and Brad are working on getting some things ready over there. So we'll be moving those, getting them out of the wastewater department. And then hopefully it'll be a little easier for people to get in and out of, and the trucks to pick up and drop off. So I think that's about it. Does anybody have any questions?
Oh, it's, when you say recycling, you refer?
Yard waste and glass.
Okay,
Oh.
not shrubbery.
Yard waste.
Yes, yard
Oh,
waste.
yard waste, okay.
Mhm. Yeah. That's okay.
I'd like to thank the guys that came out today to work on putting up the lights on the holly trees at Kump House. We had a whole crew out there, and it was really, really quite fun, actually. And hopefully the solar lights will work. That they might not be on tonight, because by the time we finished, it was 2, and they kind of need about 8 hours of sunlight. But hopefully those will work, but we just really appreciate their assistance. We couldn't have done it without it. And Alan got some awesome aerial views of the the Kump House and stuff. So
Cool.
I shared those with Sutton. They were really good.
Well, good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're thankful for that new bucket truck, so thank you.
Yes.
Because without that.
Yeah, that's
I think
what Sean
It
said.
was always a challenge for everything, so.
Yeah, thanks again.
You're welcome, I'll pass it on. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chief Himes.
I hope my voice holds up. The month of November, we responded to 57 calls for service, 6 building fires, 19 MVAs. We have surpassed our 2021 totals for the year by about 50 calls, so a lot busier than recent past. The remaining pump tests were completed yesterday. The aerial did come back Tuesday of last week. The aerial test was performed in Columbus, and then it was pump tested yesterday, and there was 0 deficiencies there, so everything's up and running. It's been a really busy month for mutual aid. We've been a little bit everywhere, so, but, and I know Mayor Skinner's not streaming, he's in a meeting, so, but I'll thank him for his kind words. Maybe he watches you tomorrow, I don't know. So,
He does.
yeah, so,
Well, I want to thank you for representing our city so well, though. You guys always are very professional, and I appreciate that.
well, it's got nothing to do with me. They were good guys before you hired me, and they knew how to do their thing, so
But you allow them to do it, so that helps.
I do, but it's all on them, so they make me look good, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Sutton.
Thank you. Just want to thank council for a couple of items that they're going to consider tonight. The creation of the HR position that's been under discussion for a long time. And it's something, I think it's fair to speak for the admin officers because we've discussed it quite a lot, that something that we're all in favor of and really looking forward to. And also consideration of my reappointment as city clerk. I sent out last night the Municipal Home Rule Program Report, which was submitted to the board yesterday, added those few items that were, where we had gained the authority from the Municipal Home Rule Board, and then passed the ordinances earlier this year. So you should all have that in your inbox. I also received today or yesterday, may have been yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to review it yet, but the final report from Smart Growth America, so look for that. I'll probably try to get that sent out tomorrow. Pretty lengthy report. I skimmed through it really quickly this evening. It's about 40 pages, I think, so take a look at that, and then we can start seeing if there's action items in there that need to be taken to committee or admin, or how we want to handle some of those suggestions. Also, just for the fire department, we'll be having testing this month for promotions, and the police department will as well. So look forward to seeing that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor. Just 2 things real quickly. I was always glad to see that yearly report that you have to do as a home rule city, and it was a wise decision made several years ago, and I believe Sutton was the city clerk at the time. You've been fortunate to have that designation, and you've used it well in other capacities since the original granting of that authority. So congratulations to this council for continuing to support a very excellent idea that has allowed the city to do things beyond what it would normally be able to do. One other thing, I believe possibly at the next council meeting, I will be bringing back an agreement and some more information. If you'll recall, I believe it was in September, maybe August, when you approved the RCDA applying for the grant, that the city would give up part of the road through the industrial park that will allow them access to Riverbend. They have received a grant of $280,000 to start that project. The city will need to sign off on that, Robbie, and
an engineer from their engineering company, and Chris Wilmoth and I met the other day, and we have some questions to the DOH, so if all that gets ironed out between now and the next meeting, I'll be bringing that back for your consideration. And there is an ordinance that you're going to be considering later, so maybe I'll just save any comments about that when you get to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving down to approval of the vendor invoice payments, please. I'm looking for a motion to accept.
Please pay the AP.
Okay, we have a motion. Any comments or discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Under new business, ordinance 309, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Elkins, West Virginia, renewing franchise agreement with Sequel 3 Communications, doing business as Optimum. This is the first of 2 readings. I'm looking for a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any comments or discussion?
The city clerk give us an update as to where we stand? Or the city attorney? I should say.
Okay.
I assume that's what you meant.
That's what I was looking at.
So the Finance Committee held a hearing at its before its November 7th meeting, which is required by the Public Service Commission rules and regulations. And it was determined at that time that through their counsel, the representative Optimum had made all of the things that needed to be complied with regard to those PS regulations, pending some additional information to be submitted. The attorney has contacted and had communication with me and Mr. Rodecker about some of the additional information. We still don't have all of it. So it was both Mr. Rodecker's and my recommendation that this go forward, and the first reading, in order to comply with the deadlines we've set up in this, the first reading would be tonight, with the understanding that the additional information that has not yet been provided by Optimum will come to council before the December 15th meeting, when you will have the second and final reading. If you don't have it, then that's your option, is to just not take any action on it and delay it till some later date. So that's where we are with it. Hopefully, we will all have all of that in the time before the meeting on the 15th. Does anybody have any questions about the ordinance?
Okay, we have a motion. Any other comments or concerns? If none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, Resolution 1588, authorizing the disposition of municipal-owned property to a nonprofit organization. I'm looking for a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any comments or discussion?
Do we not have a need for a float at a later date?
I'm sorry?
We don't have a need for a float at a later date?
I'll defer to Melanie, as she has the most
Yeah.
information about it.
Well, as long as I've been here, we've not utilized the city float for any city employees or parades or anything related to the city. Over the last probably 8 years, I found out about it a couple of years into my employment here, but some of the baseball teams would ask to use it. Recently, one of the, I think the Randolph County Fair has asked to use it a couple of times, but other than that, we don't have much history on the float, and it's housed at the Mountain State Forest Festival office, which they want it to be removed from there. It does need new tires and a lot of work in the back. I talked to J.W. Jones that has pulled it for a couple of different occasions, but we've not used it, and we don't have a place to store it.
I think I rode on it as a kid, because my mom worked at the city
Yeah.
of Elkins, and they had in the Forest Festival, and city employees, children could ride on it. So I think I was probably
Right.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't have a place to put it either.
Okay, since we don't really have a need for a float and we have a motion, are there any other comments or discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Resolution 1589, appointing a city clerk and establishing the amount of annual compensation. I'm
So
looking for.
moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Any comments or discussion?
Yes, I would like to make a comment. I read Jessica's letter and reviewed her accomplishments and the things she has done for the city while she's been with us. And I think that one of the things that the city has to recognize is that in order to keep good administrative officers, and what would we do without her, honestly, we need to take a look at the compensation. And I'm going to make a recommendation that we increase the compensation that was recommended by finance by another $1,000.
Here, here, absolutely.
So that would be, I guess, I'm not really sure how we go about doing that.
It would be a motion to amend the resolution. Thank you.
I'm making a motion to amend the resolution.
Amend Chris's motion too, right?
No, no.
Okay.
Chris's motion is to approve, and then you would
Okay.
make a motion to amend, and then you vote on the motion to amend first.
Okay, so we have a motion to amend. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay.
No.
Okay, you need a roll call
Roll call
vote.
vote, please.
So this is a roll call vote on the motion to amend the resolution number 1589, changing the compensation from $57,000 to $58,000. If you're in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no. Kwanzo?
Yes?
Counselor Hinchman?
Just a second. Yes.
Counselor Severino is absent. Counselor Bras Fraganera?
Yes.
Counselor Lowther?
No.
Counselor Guy is absent. Counselor Vest?
No.
Counselor Chenoweth?
No.
Counselor Parker?
Yes.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to 3, yeah. Motion carries. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you. So now you have the motion.
Yes, now we have the motion that Chris to approve the resolution. So any other questions or comments on that?
I do want to say one more thing, and I think the city of Elkins is very lucky to have the administrative officers that we have. When we went through the pandemic, I don't know what we would have done without them, to be honest about it. And there was nobody in this building, and Jessica and Melody and Tracy ran this place. And thank you for that. And we can't give you everything you want, but we can at least say thank you and recognize that you're worth a lot to us. So,
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And if I may, sir,
Absolutely.
turnover, especially in these municipal jobs, especially with admin officers, is absolutely deadly to the city. The way to avoid turnover is to properly take care of good people. And I think that is exactly what the amendment was addressing. And I support that. You know, I've participated in a number of our hiring processes, and we've all stayed in touch, and we have to deal with the reality of how we're going to take care of good people. It's incumbent, it's one of the highest priorities we can have. I think it's probably a higher priority than paving streets all the time.
I mean, I think when we start talking about the operations manager later, you're going to understand why I'm doing this.
Any other questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1590, the creation of a human resource generalist position within the Office of the City Clerk, including amendments to the City of Elkins organizational chart and assignment to the compensation and classification plan. I'm looking for a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any comments or discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1591, approving transfer of funds from the financial stabilization account. Looking for a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any comments or discussion?
Mr. Chairman of Finance, Mr. Hinchman,
Yes, sir.
while we make love to our microphones here,
Okay.
Mike, what is the purpose of this?
It was to complete a project on number 5 River Street that we started that we didn't get completed. We're going to use part of the funds left over from demolition and then the additional from the stabilization to complete the project.
Thank you, Mike. I would urge my colleagues to vote for this, and if you have any questions, please ask them now. This is really a matter of ethical import that we approve this. Thank you.
If I can make a comment on this, and it may or may not be appropriate, but you guys know by now I'm going to speak my mind. This was signed off on previously by an employee we had in the city, and we thought the work was done appropriately, but it was not. And right now, we have, I guess, given this land or signed the land over in good faith that we thought the work was done properly. So from the city's perspective, it was a poor business decision, but we had no control over that because we were told that it was done properly and it was not. So we kind of feel like we're cleaning up a mess that we were left, is what I'll say. And I think the public has a right to know that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So,
You have a motion on the floor to approve?
okay, we do have a motion. Any other questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1592, appointing an operations manager and establish an amount of annual compensation.
So moved.
Moving the approval of the resolution?
Well, I was going to make the motion, then, I guess, then make a motion to go into executive session.
You
Just
probably
get,
need
bring,
it first.
That's, no, you can do it that way.
bring it onto the floor, then
Yeah.
make a motion to go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter, and I guess all of council and interim operations manager and clerk and mayor to come into executive session just to get everyone up to speed as to where we are on the appointment
Okay, so we have a motion to go into executive session.
for a personnel matter.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. It is 7:42, and we are entering executive session.